day 19. So, yesterday was a little bit dramatic, talking about how basically I'm, unhappy, and, there's truth to that. There's truth. There's scientific evidence that your endorphins don't come back for a very long time after using certain opiates or opiate antagonists like suboxone or whatever you want to say. So it's not that I'm unhappy, and it's not that I'm ungrateful, because that's, I think, another word to use. It's just that I feel I'm going through something good, okay? Growth comes from the times that are hardest for us. Everybody knows that. The hardest things in your life you've gone through, or at least I've gone through, have spurred the largest amount of growth. So I'm excited for this process. I mentally know in my mind I'm strong enough to understand what this is. I can look at myself outside of myself and see who I am in the general picture. They say a fish in a bowl can't see from the outside what he looks like or what he is. So we can't really, but at the same time, we have enough wisdom by now to kind of understand what we're dealing with, especially if we've gotten off drugs previously, if we've kind of learned through this process who we are and how our body reacts. So in today, I just want to say it's a good day. It's day 19. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. And I was reading comments from people, and they talk about, it takes this time for your body's natural endorphins to start reproducing again. And that's so true. That's 100% exactly what it is. Jeez, gotta go. Bug bite. Even though we don't want to believe that, we want to think that the physical part is the most important and it's crazy and we get through that and we're all good. That's not true. Those post-acute withdrawal symptoms, or the pause as they call them, it's not necessarily that I buy into there's going to be so many of these tough little things that I'm going to have to deal with. It's just knowing that most people, they search for these videos on how to get off Suboxone or what's it like, and they want to know about day 1 through 14 or day 1 through 30 or whatever. Wow, because there's so much happening in that time. You look at my videos now, I can look back and be like, wow, day 7 was insane, day 2 was crazy, fluctuations, a lot is going on. When I watched videos of people getting off Suboxone, I watched a guy going from 36 milligrams to 0, something like that, or 24 to 0. Either way, it was his day 1 through 10 or 1 through 11, which you're thinking, okay, that's all I need to know. That's the craziest part. But in reality, I never saw another video from the guy. It just dropped off. People need to know that there is life after recovery. And to me personally, I love hearing wisdom from people that are farther ahead than me and that kind of can, I don't really know. They show that there's a way to live after this. It's kind of like when I got clean in the first place at rehab, and I'd see people that have 1 year clean, 2 year clean. They would come into the rehab, they would talk, and they would tell you life is good. I didn't really believe it. I was like, no. And the guy was like, if I could just, show you guys what I know now. I'm like, it's just interesting. I didn't believe it, but now I believe that. I've had 8 years off of, using drugs, and I can now say 100% that it is worth it. But I didn't know that in the beginning. So it's good to see other people kind of establishing that there's life after addiction, and I think life after Suboxone is another way of saying that. It's just I heard someone say, who was a 3 years off Suboxone, he's like, man, if I could just take all of you guys that are on Suboxone, I could just round everybody up and I could just put you in my backyard and keep you there and force you to get off the Suboxone. He's like, just keep you there for 1 year. And at the end of 1 year, if you hate it, you can go back to being on Suboxone. If you don't, you can stay off of this drug for good. He's like, if I could just do that and hold you guys and keep you there for a year, I guarantee you that it would be worth it and you'd be happy you did it. And I was like, damn. When I heard him say that, I'm like, this is someone I don't know, but I trust him. I believe him. I'm hearing what he's saying. And he's like, it worked for me. And I'm telling you. And he's like, just if you can do it, if you have the ability, go for it. So that's what I want to see, is beyond these quick physical things, which everyone cares about, and then it drops off. And I'm like, did that person relapse? Did that person die? We have no idea what happened to that person after this certain point. I do want to do some kind of update video, because in my life right now, I'm making, some different things. I'm making some changes. I'm finding my passions, and I want people to see that there is a learning curve that you're going to go through, and it's okay. You might have sweaty armpits at work. You may not sleep well, but that's all physical. Like, what about the mental stuff? And mental is huge in addiction, and that's things that aren't talked about. So for my own personal benefit, I'll probably just update kind of where my story goes. And it's probably going to be like a 30, 60, 90 day at the end of this. Because today's day 19. I told myself I'd do 21 days of videos, so I have 2 more days after this. But I just want people to understand that this physical part is just the beginning. That's not the part that people need to see. People need to know, at least for myself, that there's stuff after that. I want to see people thriving and growing and changing, and that's what I love hearing about. So I definitely, you know, am going to try and put some videos out to kind of show what direction I'm going in. But as of today, I'm just grateful. I'm blessed. I have clarity, and I love getting the feedback from some of you guys. Some of you guys have kind of changed my whole insight, even though I know 100% that I'm feeling a little bit unhappy because my brain just isn't producing endorphins. That's okay. It's okay to say you're unhappy. That's not a bad thing. That doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me stupid. It doesn't mean I'm going to relapse tomorrow. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go, you know, do something crazy. It's okay to feel these feelings. That's what I'm not used to. I've been unhappy, but on suboxone. I could take my suboxone later in the afternoon and feel like, oh, well, I feel a little better about that. Now I'm unhappy, and it doesn't change 3 hours later. I either coped with it or I didn't, and I have to cope with it. So it's good. It's really, really refreshing and good. So even though I can say, hey, I'm not okay with where I'm at, I can sit through those feelings and I can be okay later because I did something about it that wasn't using drugs. It's that simple. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at today. Not trying to preach to anybody, but that's just what I'm feeling, and I'm excited. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Day 20, it's going to be a big day, and I'm blessed. And so are you if you're watching these videos. I don't care if you're tapering. I don't care if you've been off for multiple years. I don't care if you just jumped off yesterday. If you are watching these videos, that means you're some way involved in this community, and whether you comment or not and give me support, and you're not just giving me support when you comment, by the way. First of all, you're helping yourself because you're putting out there, hey, I'm tapering, or hey, I'm off for a year and I can tell you what it's like. You're helping yourself, whether you're newer, whether you're not off suboxone, whether you're on suboxone. You're helping me by seeing these things and reading this feedback. More importantly, you're making a community here where people are seeing the same people comment, and they're finding support, and they're finding other people's channels, and they're finding value. So if you have something to say, please put it down below. It's not just for me. You're going to feel better about yourself because you're going to help other people, and other people will recognize that whether they respond or not. So that's pretty much it. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you're here in this community, you're probably helping people in your lives. You're probably talking about this. You're probably passionate about it. And I just want to let you know I feel the same way. And today is day 19. Only 19 days. Very short, very quick. How quick that happened from day 1 to day 20. Like, it was like in a blink of an eye. Day 19. I'm feeling great. I'm blessed to be alive. And I went to the Renaissance Festival today. Crazy, right? I had a fun day. So anyways, I love you guys. Video's long enough. I will see you tomorrow. But remember, take care of yourself, love yourself, be grateful, and tell somebody else that you love them. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.